What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're going to be jumping into something kind of cool. We're going to have it for over the next 4 days. We're going to do all 4 parts of Night at the Rijksmuseum. We're going to jump into it. We're going to check it out together. Let's go on a little journey. It will be good. This one's coming as via donation from Mikhail. Much, much love. Let's go. Everybody's here with me. I appreciate you for being here. 100%. Let's see what the museum is all about.
As the French philosopher Descartes said, God made the world, but the Dutch made Holland, and there's nowhere more uniquely beautifully Dutch than Amsterdam, this wonderful city that seems almost to float on the water. But for the last 10 years, this has also been a city with a gaping cultural hole where its heart should be. This is the Rijksmuseum, one of the world's great museums, Holland's equivalent to the National Gallery or the Louvre. And yet, for the
Why'd we pause?
last 10 years, it's been closed to the public, undergoing a massive restoration.
The closure of the Rijksmuseum was a big hole in the national life. We missed all these beautiful things.
Can you imagine the French rolling the Mona Lisa through the streets? Only in Holland would this happen.
I consider the Rijksmuseum the nucleus, or more or less the egg we crawled out.
This
There's
is
very few countries where the
You listen to how they're speaking about it. It's like the most important thing in the world to some people. That just what the Rijksmuseum holds, like what it stands for people. This is such a bold statement made by people. He says it's almost like where we crawled out of. If you think about that, that's like all of our history. That's like, hey, straight up, this is where we came from. This is everything that we were. Here's what we are. Very, very interesting. The way that people are describing a museum. Most people say, it's okay. It's got some good exhibits for museums in the States. But up here, they're talking about like, this is like one of the most important museums. Like, let's go.
there are very few countries where the National Museum has been entirely rethought, reinvented.
It really is amazing. Everybody's very excited in having it open again. The national treasures of the Dutch people are inside this museum.
Wow. It's just unbelievable. For over a decade, people all over the museum world, but above all, the Dutch people have been waiting, but now the wait is over. So join me on a journey to rediscover the treasures of a great nation.
I'm excited to discover the treasures of a great nation for the first time in my life. Like, let's go see what it is that is so important inside of this building that people are speaking about it the way that they were speaking about it. That means that it's important, like vastly, vastly important.
So, welcome to the Rijksmuseum 2013. This is the scene of probably the most remarkable, the most expensive, the most ambitious remodeling of one of the world's major museums ever undertaken. The whole place is buzzing with crowds, with journalists, with TV crews, but actually, compared to what it's been like in the last few weeks, it's relatively calm. It's been a hive of activity here. They've been frantically putting the last touches to their great museum, and we have had a backstage pass. Over the last few weeks, we've been privileged enough to watch how the Dutch have reinvented their single greatest monument to their past.
This is going to be awesome. I can only imagine that while it was under those renovations, a lot of people whoever it was, there's museum people. Okay, there's people that like to visit the museum multiple times. They enjoy taking a walk through the past. They don't just go see an exhibit, and then that's the end of the museum for them. No, people that are into that history and culture and stuff, they'll go back and back and back. So I can only imagine that while it was closed, a lot of people were stuck at home, like freaking out about when they're going to be able to go back to the museum.
It's all happening. Paintings are arriving in crates, they're coming out of their boxes, they're going up on the walls. The whole place is buzzing with machinery. Which painting is this?
Love letters.
That's Vermeer's love letter.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. So there's a Vermeer under there.
Yes.
And you're not shaking.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Take a painting and I put it on the wall.
You're going to do that now?
Yeah. Second.
Thank you. That is, this is one of the great paintings in the world. The gentleman behind the cameraman, he doesn't want to be on TV. He doesn't like being on TV, but he has agreed to be on TV to hang the picture. So we really appreciate that.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I can't believe it. It looks like it was painted yesterday. Isn't it fantastic?
The glass is clean.
The glass is clean. What a beautiful painting. Now, the Rijksmuseum's collections are jaw-droppingly rich and varied. There are treasures from Asia and the Far East. There are masterpieces of painting like this, Monet, or over here, a wonderfully piercing self-portrait by none other than Vincent van Gogh. But this is also a museum with a single overriding mission: to tell the story of the Dutch past, to bring Holland to life. Now, in the past, the Rijksmuseum organised its collections on rather traditional academic lines, department by department, you know, the sort of thing. Over here, we've got glass, over there, we've got silver. Gallery 3 is for ceramics, galleries 22 to 9 for painting. But they've done away with all of that now, and in a very bold, daring, and highly effective way, what they've done is they've brought all of the arts together and involved them in this great chronological sweep through history. And it's quite some achievement. 80 galleries, 8,000 objects, and 800 years of history. So you really do need more than an hour or two to get to know
you
this
do. I'm glad we're going to be going through it in 4 days instead of 1. I'm glad it's broken down into 4 parts. I feel like there's a lot here that you definitely... It would take a while to take it all in.
The Rijksmuseum is about the Dutchness of Dutchness. It was constructed in the 19th century as a symbol for the Dutch nation, and it houses the treasures of the Netherlands.
I think anyone coming to Amsterdam for the first time and looking at the Rijksmuseum can't fail to be struck by how unique it is, how extraordinary it is. There is no other building in the city like it. It's this wonderful neo-Gothic, romantic fantasy temple to art. And nowadays, it's one of the most popular, most loved buildings in all of Holland, but it was not always
It is gorgeous.
so. When it was first unveiled in 1885, it was regarded with horror. How Catholic! With its stained glass windows, its resemblance to a cathedral, the flamboyance of its colour and its architecture. Many people saw it as a kind of a fishbone lodged in the throat of the Dutch state, which was inherently a Protestant state. How dare Cyprus, the architect, a Catholic, have erected this building in the heart of Amsterdam? And the king of the time, William III, refused to set foot in the building.
Wow!
My
Holy
favourite detail
crap.
in the whole building is that statue. Do you see up there in the corner? That is Cyprus himself, the architect, with his beard, looking rather furtively round the corner of the building, almost as if to say, "Ooh, I'm a Catholic. I'm in a Protestant world. Have I got away with it?
When we moved into this building in the 19th century, the collection only had 700 paintings. Now we have 6,000.
Holy 700 to 6,000? That's a little bit of an increase.
We had 700 paintings. Now we have 6,000. So the collection has grown a lot. This meant that in the 20th century, the decorations, original decorations of the building, were obscured. So the building slowly disappeared. And I think that what the renovation did is that it gave the building back its words, and the building speaks again. And now it's in harmony with the objects.
That's a super beautiful way to say it.
Now, I remember coming to the Rijksmuseum 20 years ago, and believe me, the transformation is truly mind-boggling. Look at this great central courtyard full of light, space, a sense of air. Where I'm standing used to be underwater. Now, when they decided to modernise and renovate this vast building, there were to be no half measures. Large parts of it were completely gutted. In the beginning, the process was supposed to take 3 years. Long enough, you might think. In the end, it's taken them 10 years to complete.
Holy
which gives you
crap.
some idea of the many obstacles they had to overcome.
It really would have been like rediscovering your entire
design
culture.
is as elegantly minimal as
When you reopened up.
original was extravagant. And the delicate task of resurrecting the museum was undertaken by Spanish architects, Cruz Ortiz. Being asked to design the new Rijksmuseum, it's not quite like being asked to walk on water, but you've certainly been asked to build on water. Last time I was here, there was a canal down there.
Yeah.
What have you done with it?
It was the sea. Actually, it was not a canal. Yeah, when you dig more than 1.5 meters in Amsterdam, you are under the level of the sea. So actually, you have all the water pouring up.
And now this building has risen.
Yes.
Almost sort of from the ashes of its former self. Yeah. It strikes me that you've been very sensitive to the original architecture.
This building, it's a perfect example of the interest of the architecture at the end of the 19th century. When doing this kind of task, you pay a tribute, let's say that way, to the existing building.
Now, the whole project was scheduled for completion in 2008. So what caused this immense delay? Was it some astonishing aquatic engineering problem, some logistical issue? No, it was a uniquely Dutch issue.
I think the biggest problem was the bicycle tunnel.
You're kidding me.
The
The bicycle tunnel was
Yes.
the... Well, put me in the picture.
The whole thing was put on hold for a bicycle tunnel? Really? That is 100% a very uniquely Dutch problem.
When they decided to renovate this museum, they also wanted to modernize it. And they created a new space in the middle of the museum. So they closed down the bicycle tunnel. And that would have been the central entrance.
Now, this central passageway, it's known as the city's gateway, runs right through the centre of the Rijksmuseum, connecting the outskirts of the city to the centre. And before the renovations began, it was used by more than 13,000 cyclists a day. So when the architects responsible for the revamping suggested it be transformed, split into 2 levels, there was mass revolt.
I bet.
Cycling lobby, hugely powerful here, fell over their handlebars in disgust. They staged demonstrations, sit-ins. They forced a major re-evaluation of the whole architectural transformation of the museum.
Wow. For
When
some
Kuipers
bicycles.
built the Rijksmuseum in the 1880s, it was at the border of the city. And he built it over one of the important entrance roads, and he built it like a city gate, and it was meant to go under it. So from an architectural point of view, from an urban point of view, I think that we should stick to it.
I always agree that the bicycle could ride through But I wanted the bicycle to ride in both laterals of the passage. The passage are 3 bays.
Ah, okay.
We wanted the bicycle to ride in the 2 laterals, but the bicycle wanted to ride in the center, where the power is.
That's great.
In the end, the architect had to redesign the whole plan, and that caused a major delay and a major extra money.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Protests over the bike passage.
Anything that you change is going to cost you extra money at that point.
Years to the project, and the passions raised show the peculiar nature of the Dutch attitude to this museum. It's theirs, their national space. What does the Rijksmuseum mean to the people of Amsterdam, to the people of Holland? What does it mean to you?
The treasures of the country are held here. This is the main museum, it's the mother of all museums. And
I like that. So this is the mother,
Yeah.
the mother of the Netherlands.
yeah.
We should consider it as our own national identity and the basis where we come from. If we consider this a museum for foreign people or for once every 10 years to visit, we will lose our identity, definitely. We're facing times where we look for our identity. Well, it's here, and it was locked. We lost our concept of what it is to be Dutch, where our cultural identity derives from. We lost it all, and we have to be proud of our Dutch culture. If we understand where we came from, if we go to the Rijksmuseum, look thoroughly what was our basis, where did Vermeer come from, Rembrandt, etc., Mondrian. Especially now, we needed our art.
I think it's just fantastic. But what do you think?
Spectacular building. Beyond spectacular. Definitely a spot to visit.
It really is amazing. It's hung very beautiful with the colors on the wall, on the places where they renovated the original details. It's been very, well, amazing. The starry sky, did you see the starry sky from
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's dazzling.
All the way from Glasgow.
Yeah.
That's our contribution.
It's gorgeous.
Another way in which they've married the old with the new here at the Rijksmuseum is by intruding into some of the spaces commissioned by living artists. In this case, a work by the Glasgow-based Turner Prize winning.
Oh, that's where they're going to cut us off, ladies and gentlemen. That is the first one of a 4-part museum journey that we will be taking. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button. Make sure you go show the original poster some love. I'm going to drop the channel and the link to the original video down inside the description. Hit the like button if you liked it, the dislike button if you disliked it. Check out one of my other videos up there. Subscribe right here if you want to see more content, possibly your content. Until the next one, I'm highly combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. I love you to the moon and back. Peace.